Hello everyone, welcome to this presentation of the Alpine Elf Matmut Endurance Team. Before we get started, I would like to share with you a video message from a special guest, Mr. Luca De Meo, CEO of Group Renault.
Happy and proud to be with you today for this World Endurance Championship season launch. We are very proud to be presenting the Alpine A480 to sport our colors in the brand new hypercar category, the very best of endurance racing. Taking up this new challenge shows how ambitious we are. Alpine has been back in endurance racing since 2013, and we have climbed our way up season after season. Last time we won the Queen category was in 1978. That's quite a challenge to live up to, but I'm fully confident this new A480 will rise up to it. So good luck to all, and allez les bleus.
Thank you very much, Luca, for your warm words and your support to the team. Now I would like to hand over to Laurent Rossi, Alpine CEO. Unfortunately, Laurent can't be with us today as he has to observe a quarantine period. However, he was keen on sharing few words with you and the team. Laurent, over to you.
Hello everyone, a warm welcome to this presentation of the Alpine Endurance Team. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize for not being able to physically be with the team today. As you can see, I'm in Bahrain for the F1 preseason test, and then I have to observe a quarantine period next week. This is a heartbreaking decision I had to take, but we cannot compromise with the sanitary measures and the health of our colleagues. So today we will show you for the first time the A480, the car that will be racing in the hypercar category in the 2021 season. We will also bring you up to speed with our objectives and expectations for this season. And of course, we will introduce you to the team that will be in charge of making the Alpine name shine on some of the most prestigious racetracks in the world. To get started, let me tell you a few things about Alpine. 2021 is a pivotal year for Alpine with significant milestones. We announced the creation of a new entity that brings together under one roof Alpine cars, Formula One and Renault Sports, combining great expertise and know-how to turn Alpine into a new generation sports car brand with a global reach. We confirm a lineup of 3 models, 100% electric, including a B-segment hot hatch, a crossover and the replacement of the A110. A couple of weeks ago, we launched the Alpine F1 team, and today we are introducing the Alpine hypercar. Motorsport is deeply rooted in Alpine's DNA. Since our return to endurance in 2013, this adventure has brought us magnificent emotions, with 2 European titles in ELMS, 2 world titles in the WEC, and of course fabulous victories at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. After 8 years of success against some of the best teams in the world, it is now time to take the next step by joining to the top class, just as the brand is switching gears. We tackle this new season and this new category with humility, yet ambition. As I said, Alpine was born from competition, for competition, and fighting for victories is our driving force. It's what makes us tick. Speaking of which, the victory at Le Mans in 1978 is a highlight in Alpine racing heritage. And let me tell you that Le Mans 2021 will be the centerpiece of our engagement in the WEC this year. 2021 is opening up a new chapter in Alpine's history with a new organization, new products to be launched in the years to come, and the most ambitious motorsport program ever. We will give our very best in every race to add new victories to Alpine's glorious racing history. And I'm confident that the A480, Alpine hypercar and the team of Philippe will carry high the Alpine colors on the most prestigious racetracks over the world.
Thank you very much, Laurent, and take care. Now I would like to introduce someone who's been supporting Alpine's endurance program since 2013. It's my great pleasure to introduce Philippe Sinault, team principal.
Thank you, Gilles. Hello, everyone. I am Philippe Sinault, team principal of the Alpine Elf Matmut Endurance Team. Since 2013, my team and I have been managing the commitment of Alpine brand in endurance. For the first 2 years, we won the ELMS Championship. In 2015, the Alpine brand decided to move up to the FIA WEC World Endurance Championship in LMP2 category. Who could have imagined that Cignatec Alpine would win the Le Mans 24 hours 3 times between 2016 and 2020 and 2 FIA WEC World Championship titles. Now these great successes are behind us, and we have to focus on the new challenge, Alpine Rise the top class, the hypercar. We approach this new stage with great humility because we know how difficult it is to enter a new category, especially at this level of motorsport, with a new car, new regulation, and modified team and strong competitors. Concerning the team, first of all, the greater complexity of the A480 hypercar compared to the LMP2 that we have been operating for the last 8 years has led us to recruit new profiles, 3 engineers and technicians, with the aim of reinforcing the operation of the electronic control system and the computer management of the onboard system. Our A480 has a wide range of adjustment possibilities that we will have to learn to master. The car is built on the basis of a carbon chassis supplied by Oreca company. The powertrain consists of a 4.5 liters V8 engine supplied by Gibson, coupled to a 6-speed X-Track gearbox. Power is more than 600 horsepower and the weight is around 900 kilos. These last 2 characteristics will be modified according to the balance of performance set up by the FIA and the ACO to guarantee the show on the track by limiting the difference in performance between the car within the hypercar category. One of the main developments for us this season is the way to manage a wider range of setting the car. For each of setting parameters related to performance, energy management, we have more possibilities, which require a well-structured methodology. The first test that we did last February on the Motorland circuit show us that the team has already taken the measure of the new car, even if we will still need a lot of kilometers to refine the knowledge of our prototype. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners, who for the most part have been with us for several years. Thanks to their commitment, we have achieved the successful result in ELMS and WEC. I am thinking, of course, about Elf, but also Matmut, Thierry, Baco, the Renault Network, XL and Identicar. This season promises to be exciting with a fantastic challenge to be taken with, of course, a major objective, the 24 hours of Le Mans, which will mark Alpine Great's return to the top category after 43 years. Our ambitions are clear. We'll be aiming for the podium in each of these events. To achieve this objective, we will be also to count on our 3 drivers, Nicolas Lapierre, André Negrao, and our new recruit, Mathieu Vaxivière. We have one of the best driver lineup with complementary profiles, all with a solid experience in endurance and an ability to work well together for the benefit of the team. Nico and André know each other very well, and they have already demonstrated the quality of their understanding. As for Mathieu, he has perfectly succeeded in his integration during the first test in Motorland last February. Like a few, I imagine our drivers are looking forward to start the season. They will now express their excitement and the idea of representing the Alpine brand on the FIA WEC Championship circuit. They will now express their excitement at the idea of representing the Alpine brand on the FIA WEC Championship circuit, starting with Nicolas Lapierre.
Thank you, Philippe. Hello, everyone. Needless to say that I'm really happy to be back with the team, with whom I've shared so many fantastic moments and podiums over the last few years. I know Philippe Sino and his team very well, and I don't forget that they are the one who gave me the chance in 2003 to race in Formula 3 with one of their single-seaters. With them, I also obtained my first international success at the Macau GP that same year. Since then, a lot of water has flowed under the bridge, but out of my 4 victories in Le Mans 24, 3 of the LMP2 wins were with the Alpine team. So you can imagine how motivated I am for this new challenge with the Alpine team. This pleasure is all greater as this new season, Alpine allows me to go back behind the wheel of a car entered in the top class, a category what I know very well, having competed 7 times in Le Mans 24 in LMP1. I haven't yet had the chance to win this race in the top class, a mythical race that every driver dreams of having his on the list of honors. So believe me, I will be thirsty to go for this first victory with Alpine team. And I'm certainly that it will be the same for my teammate. I would also like to share my pride representing Alpine on the circuits. It is a brand with a very committed Faites communities. We have seen this on various circuits, including outside of Europe. We are going to give everything we have this year to make this community proud of their commitment to our team and to the Alpine brand. I think I have a great asset for this new season, which is to get to know the team since 2016. We will be able to count on the same engineers, same mechanic, as we did in our 2019 season when we won the LMP2 World title, with the addition of some recruitment to adapt to the specificity of the hypercar category. With 12 participation in Le Mans 24, I think I can bring a lot to the team for the 2021 edition. And you can count on my determination and that of my teammates not to give up, an expression dear to Philippe Sino. André, I leave you the floor to confirm my words.
Thank you, Nico. Hello, everyone. The first thing that I would like to say to you is the pride I feel inside me. Alpine and Philippe Sino continue to have a confidence in me, allowing me to continue the adventure with the WEC, especially in the Premier category. And this gives me a great confidence in myself and my riding. Confidence is a fundamental parameter for a driver. It's what allows him to go for the last tenths, the last meters on a break, which in the end makes the difference with other riders in the world. The Alpine team has allowed me to obtain the most beautiful victories of my career to date. I will never forget my 2 victories in the 24 hours of Le Mans in 2018 and 19, and the world title that we obtained in 2019 in the end of the super season, which took place over 14 months of competition. Like Nico, I consider that my knowledge of the team and their way to the working since 2017 will be a real asset for this new season and my discovery of the hypercar category. Last February, I had the pleasure of discovering the driving of a hypercar during the private tests of the Motorland circuit in Spain. I already feel very excited to be able to aim for the podiums and the overall standings this season, especially at the Le Mans 24 hours. The Mansell race is very well attended in Brazil, as there are several Brazilian drivers competing in the different categories. I'm also secretly dreaming of being the first Brazilian driver to win this race, which any driver, whatever his nationality, would like to win in his career. I hope that one day I will have the opportunity to race with Alpine in Brazil, because in my country there is a community of Aero fans. Some of one are familiar with the Alpine history, in particular the models produced locally in the 1960s by Willys Overland do Brasil. For this season, I'm really confident that we can challenge the other hypercar teams. Nicolas and I get along perfectly, and I have very similar driving feelings. We talk a lot together, and we are operation engineers, doing the various tests, seasons, and during the race. As for our new teammate Mathieu, we also seem to share our way of setting up the car, and his experience in the recent endurance racing will be a plus for the overall performance of our team.
Thank you, André. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm indeed the newest member of the team, and I let you imagine the joy I felt when Alpine confirmed that I was the lucky one to complete the team that will be racing in the top category this season. I feel an immense pride to have been recruited by Alpine. If I'm joining the Alpine team for the first time, I'm not completely unknown to Philippe Sino, because he's with a car developed by his team that I obtained my Formula 4 French Championship title in 2011. I have followed the result of the Alpine team in WEC They're often very inspired racing strategy with great interest over the last few years, and I'm more than eager to be in Spa for the first race of the season, with particular excitement to race for the first time in the top category. This season will be for me the first sporting engagement in the top category, and this represents a huge source of motivation. For a Frenchman, representing Alpine on track all over the world is a great motivation. And I don't even dare to imagine the fervor that will reign at the Le Mans 24-hour next August. With the French team back in the top category for the first time since 2012, after the 2 third place I have obtained in LMP2 the last 2 years, I would love to climb with Alpine on the top step. It will be a nice note to the overall victory obtained by Alpine in '78. In any case, I'm quite confident about our performance level after the test we carried out on the Motorland circuit a month ago. The installation in the car is good and my feeling at the wheel is in line with that of my 2 teammates. We should therefore gain time on the setup and adjustment to be made on each circuit of the championship. We still have a few weeks to train physically and prepare for the simulator, but I can tell you that I'm really looking forward to starting this season with the Alpine Endurance Team.
Thank you, guys. Now it's time to introduce the A480.
Welcome back, everyone, for this media Q&A session. Before we start, I would like to apologize for the delay due to a technical problem. The good news is that gives us extra time to receive some more questions. And actually, I have received one question for you, Philippe, that comes from France. I mean, you've been alongside Alpine since 2013 now. So when you reflect back on the time spent with Alpine, how does it feel?
8 years already. The time with Alpine flying. It's an incredible story. I never imagined that. It's a real proof that a strong partnership based on a confidence and success. So a lot of proud of this.
Okay, thanks, Philippe, and we are very happy to have you alongside Alpine as well for all those years. So now the next question is for Nicolas. You've had you have had 4 victories at Le Mans. Okay, so you've had your fair share of success. That was in LMP2. Now, do you reckon this year is the big year for you? With a top class victory?
Clearly, this is why we are here. Obviously, 4 wins in Le Mans is incredible. I mean, it's a great success, but obviously, as a driver, the category in the one I want to succeed is the top class, you know, and now the hypercar. So we are at the very beginning of this class, and I think it's a great timing for Alpine to be back in this class. And also for myself, after securing those success in LMP2, I'm glad to be back in the top category and hopefully try to achieve a win in this class.
Hey, and we wish you the best of success, Nico.
Thank you.
So now I have one more question for Mathieu. So Mathieu, you're the newcomer to the team. You're a French driver as well. So how does it feel to be driving for Alpine?
I mean, to drive for Alpine, it's such an iconic brand, French brand. So I'm really proud to be in. It will be a big year for me as well, because for sure we are all in the top category. But to drive alongside Nico and André will be really useful for me, and it's a wonderful atmosphere as well. and to do this program with the team of Philippe at Seniatech. It's a huge part. I'm really proud of this. So.
Okay, and welcome to the family. Huh?
Thank you.
So now I've received a bit of a tricky question for you, Philippe. Are you happy with the balance of performance?
We will see.
That's a short answer.
Not yet. So the balance of performance is in progress now, work in progress. What I can say is that FIA and SAO make a strong job and huge job. It's not easy. The subject is really hard, but I am quite confident because at the end it's the interest of everybody, especially for endurance platform and 24 hours of Le Mans. You have everybody on the grid and the top class at the same level with a good balance of performance. So I am quite confident.
Good, very good. So we keep receiving quite a lot of questions, and the next question is for you, Andre. So can you give us a bit of feedback following the pre-season testings in February?
Yes, first, thank you everybody for watching us. Was great. It's quite a little bit mess on the first day. It was raining and wet and dry with the new car. So it was a little bit complicated to set up the car in that conditions. It was really cold, but definitely it was good to be back on the car on the LMP1 now. So with Mathieu is new in the team. Me and Nico, we know each other from 17, 18, 19. Was a good season for me and for him. And we have a lot of work to do, but it's good to be back on the car and start this new season.
Okay, thanks,
You're welcome.
Andre. So another question for you, Philippe, still on the technical side of things. I mean, the car that will be racing this year is the car that has some kind of experience, if you see what I mean. Okay, it's been racing for quite a while. Is there any options to further develop the car?
Yes, we can. For sure, we can develop the car, but at the moment, our main concern is to have a good knowledge about the regulation, the new regulation, and to be in the way to well manage all the new process, electronic system, or the new environment in terms of electronic and informatics. So it's not easy for us, and we have to be focused on this. The car is reliable already, so we have to work on the well use of these new tools.
Okay, yeah, understood. Reliability is obviously key in this type of category. Well, another question for you we have received through the earpiece. Obviously, there are some manufacturers who've announced their engagement commitment to endurance for the years to come. So what about Alpine? What's the status?
For sure, the endurance platform, at the moment, a lot of things move around the endurance. It's a really good news. We talk a lot with Laurent Rossi and Alpine technical staff about the future. The subject is on the table, and we consider the purpose, but we have first 21 to do, and the race is soon now, so we will talk about this in the next few months, but the subject is on the table.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So I have another question. I did not quite hear well for whom it was. Andre, that's a question for you. I think, the question, I guess, the answer might be pretty straightforward, but some competitors will be engaged with two cars. Obviously, Alpine will be engaged with one car. Do you see this as an advantage or as a drawback?
No, I don't think so. No, I think that, like Philippe said, this car, the ability was pretty good in the last few years ago. So we know that the car is available. So they do a lot of Le Mans races as well, a lot of laps. So we know the car is working very well. I don't think just because we are in just one car or we are less or more advanced than the others. I think as soon as we know that the car is okay to go to Le Mans and do a lot of laps, I think we can fight for the win.
Okay, thanks. And Another question for you, Philippe, and that's another tricky question. I'm sorry, you're the man for the tricky questions. I know you love them. In the team, do you see a number one driver? Yeah, I know that's a nasty question. Huh? Is there any number one driver you see in the team?
You will think it's a political answer, but it is sure not. I have one team, not one driver. We have 3 drivers, but at the end we have to manage one team. So, and with this driver lineup, it's a perfect example of a well-formed team with 3 different personalities. But at the end, I am really, really proud about the spirit, and I think it will be good to manage these 3 drivers.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Philippe. It was kind of expected, obviously, but. Yeah, thank you for clarifying anyway. So one question for you, Andre, again. It's not a tricky one, so but that's a very fair question. As far as we know, no Brazilian driver has ever won Le Mans. Mm-hmm. So if you happen to be the first Brazilian driver to win Le Mans, how will it feel and how will you celebrate?
First of all, we have to finish before thinking winning, of course. A lot of Brazilian drivers almost arriving first with Lucas, Bruno, and other guys that raced in LMP1 before. For me, it was of course, it's a challenge to arrive and win the 24 hours. But first, we have to think a lot of things before one, especially the ability of the car, and finish the 24 hours. If you won, I hope so. Of course, should be a lot of celebration in Brazil as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, make sure you invite us too. Huh?
Yeah,
to the party. Yeah. Next question is for you, Nicolas. Over the past year and a half, you've been away from Alpine. Now that you're back, what has changed in your opinion? Did you see anything new or different?
Yeah, I mean, the team changed a bit in the way that the team is bigger now to operate this car. We need more people. But I said the main structure, the key people are still the same. So that's great. You know, these people, they made the strengths of Alpine when we won the championship and Le Mans 24 in the last years. So it's very good that these strength people, they are still here. But obviously the team had to get a bit bigger and to get a bit more people to manage all the electronic, the BOP and all this new electronic stuff we have inside the car. But I still felt at home when I came back to Bourges at the beginning of the year. It was very easy for me to get back and to integrate the family again.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, Alpine one day, Alpine forever, kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Next question is for you, Mathieu. Question is about, I mean, you are driving with your teammates. If you get a chance to drive together, and especially, do you guys share the same feeling towards the car?
Yes, this is really important in an endurance team and on the lineup as well. So far, we have the same feeling of the car, same feedback in the test that we did in Motorland. So yeah, the car was great. As André say, we discover a lot of stuff in terms of electronical. It's the step higher, the next step after LMP2. It's much more on the electronic side and aero as well. So we discover all this stuff. But to work together. Yeah, it was nice, and I'm really looking forward this year.
I could see you guys were making kind of a good combination when we were together earlier on in the day. So, question for you, Nicolas. How does it feel, or what specific driving skills or differences do you see between an LMP1 hybrid and the car that is sitting next to us?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. Obviously, we don't have to manage the hybrid power, which makes it quite easier for us in terms of strategy. But on the other hand, it's a little disadvantage, clearly, compared to the hybrid car, which has four-wheel drive, basically. Even if the rules change a bit this year, it's still going to be a little advantage for them in terms of tire wear and grip. In tricky condition as well, you would prefer to have these four-wheel drives. But our car has its strengths. It's probably a bit easier to operate. So let's see. It's going to be interesting to see the two different technology fighting on track.
Okay. And talking of technologies, thank you, Nicolas. We just received one question for you, Philippe. It's regarding the setup of the car and all the settings you have to do. How complicated or how difficult, how different is it compared to the LMP2, this new car?
In terms of chassis, it's quite the same. And the spectrum is more wide, and we are able to manage more possibility in terms of setting. As I have said already, the main concern is about the electronical management and the BOP, the balance of performance.
Okay. Next question. Thank you, Philippe. Next question is for you, Andre. You won in 2018, so now you're about to start the new season. So how do you feel about it? And especially, I mean, Nicolas was mentioning obviously the main competitors, obviously in the race. So how do you feel about this whole new situation and the fact that now you're fighting in the top class with kind of a big competitor in front of you?
It's a new challenge, of course, but if you go back in the past, you have a good memories from 17, 18, 19, so and 20, we have a good memories. So there's no reason to be afraid. We know the car, we know the track, we know that we have a good results in the past as well. So definitely now in the top category in LMP1, we are fighting to the other guys that have the Toyota have a full-wheel drive. We have the Glickenhaus, it's coming as well. So it should be interesting, but it's a big challenge. So let's go forward for it.
Okay, thanks, Andre. I've received a question for you, Mathieu. When you received the phone call to be part of the Alpine Endurance Team from Philippe, so how did you feel?
I feel I didn't have word at the moment. It was like a dream for me, to be honest. So yeah, to be in Alpine. Already when I received like the phone call, it was like Philippe. I said, okay, maybe this is the right moment. So it will be maybe yes, maybe no. But yeah, hopefully it was a big yes, and I'm really happy. I'm really proud to be here. But yeah, I still didn't realize we are here. All is wonderful. We are working really hard to do it all properly. So yeah, all is fine, and we will continue like this.
Okay, thanks, Mathieu. So next question is for you, Philippe. You see, we keep receiving quite a lot of questions. Actually, this is great. Actually, I'm very pleased with it. So Philippe, actually, I forgot the question. What was the question again for Philippe? Got carried away. Yes. Yeah, with the fact that now you're entering the top class, and you have a brand new car. Did you have to make some changes to your staff and recruit some extra people or some new skills to join the team?
Yes, we recruit some engineers, 3 more engineers, and some mechanics, and 1 more people in a composite part also. It's a way to manage this type of car, especially in terms of engineering, because again we have a lot of things more to know and to understand, to mastering before the race.
Okay. Thanks, Philippe. So now we have another question coming from France for you, Nicolas. When obviously Alpine is a bit of an icon in the world of motorsports, and when Alpine won its most, let's say, acclaimed titles, you were pretty young at the time. However, when you think of all those victories in Alpine's history, what is the first image that comes to your mind?
I mean, yeah, for me, to be honest, I was a bit young when all this victory happened. But when I speak to my father or my uncle that are very passionate about motorsport, when you speak with them about Alpine, they are all super excited and super proud that I'm part of this project. It's for sure a big brand in France, and but also everywhere in the world. I mean, we race in Japan, and we saw a lot of fans, and everywhere in the world the brand is very popular. And the people who like Alpine, they are really big fan of motorsport. And really enthusiastic. So it's always great, and we feel a great support when we go there. And obviously, the history of the brand pushes us every day to achieve more, and this is why we're going to try to do this year.
Yeah, right. New chapters in Alpine's racing history.
That's the plan.
That's your duty.
The target.
Yeah. So Philippe, a quick question for you. When Alpine announced and when we announced that Alpine would step up in the top category, how many phone calls from drivers did you receive on that day?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. And when I receive so many calls, I say, we took the right decision to step up in the top class. And after, it's always difficult to make a choice, but it's part of my job. It's always a compromise. But again, the combination that we have made for this year is a perfect combination.
Yeah, I do get that, yeah. Thanks, Philippe. Next question is for you, Andre. You've been pretty successful, ever since you've started in the endurance category in particular. Can we say to some extent that now you've really, you've kind of become an endurance man in a way? Is it something that's deeply rooted in your blood, in your DNA?
Well, for when I started, every driver wants to come in F1, of course. And you go step by step and try to achieve the best results as you can. And when I was there, it's not my time. So when I received a call from Philippe 2017 to came to WEC, to came to endurance and try to make some results and how it should be, I say, okay, let's do it. Let's move on and let's see how is it. And then when I arrived in 17, it was like something that is made for me. I don't know how I explain. I fit in the car. I was quite nice from the beginning. You have to adjust the tires, the full consumption. You have to do a lot of things. You cannot crash the car or cannot destroy the car because you have another 2 drivers to share the car as well. So I love it from the beginning. And then come the results from 17. So 17, 18, we won Le Mans. Then 19, we won Le Mans again. And then come the world title. So it's a beautiful road from 2017. So I no reason to leave the championship, no intention to leave the endurance anymore.
Yeah, and we are glad you stick around, actually. Philippe, we have a question for you. Are you planning to use for this season 2 aero kits on the car like you used to do in LMP2?
It's a good question. So we will use only one kit, the low downforce one, because of regulation and because of balance of performance, they decide to impose to us to use this kit. But in any case, we have a lot of downforce even with this kit, so we know that we have only one to use.
Thanks, Philippe. Sorry, I was just listening to another question coming in, and since you're in a pretty good shape actually to be answering questions, I have another one for you. So, how would you describe the team, the drivers, and the combination? And do you think this is I guess you think so because otherwise they wouldn't have been selected. But what do you believe are the strengths of this lineup of drivers to compete in the next season?
When I make the choice, it's because first of all the key word is confident and sharing. And when you see the face of these 3 guys, for sure, I know that we have made the right choice. So it's in my blood, the human value and the family, and it's like this. And I am so happy to constate that they share the same value with us, with all the members of the team also. So it's really, really important for me to have the right combination and the good spirit.
Okay, yeah, in the end, it's just a matter of chemistry and having the right personalities, binding together. So another question for you, Philippe, regarding the balance of performance. How will it work this year, the balance of performance?
Well, sometimes, even me, I am a little bit lost. As I have said, it's a huge subject. The main part of the job will be on the way to manage the power of the engine and the traction control also. The two main subjects, and after the energy consumption. So it's too difficult for me to understand well, but I have good engineers and they work hard. I know they work so hard since 3 months, 4 months on all this subject.
Okay. Talking of technical elements, I have one more question for you. It's regarding the potential synergies with the Alpine F1 team. Do you have any at this stage, or do you foresee any potential synergies, and what could it be, if you can say?
At this stage, we have not put in place synergy, but for sure there are some subjects to studies, and if we need, and I think at one moment I will give a call to Viry-Châtillon or Enstone to say, hey guy, can you help us on this subject? But at the moment it's too soon. We have on our side so many things to understand well. But I hope we could have some synergy.
Yeah. In the end, we are just one big team all together. Okay, thanks, Philippe. Andre, one more question for you. This is your first participation, obviously, in the top class. Don't you feel under pressure at the moment?
A little bit.
Yeah, you feel the pressure. All
To
right.
be honest, yes.
That's a very honest answer.
Yeah. But I mean, we have a good engineers. I have 2 guys in the car that I can trust 100%. Especially this guy that I know from 17. Mathieu, I know from World Series. I raced with him half a year. So yeah, we are in good hands. And in the other way, you have a good engineering. You have Philippe stay with us all the time behind the scenes, talking with us, talking with the engineers. So of course we have the pressure to win and make a good results with the LMP1, and to see, of course, the opinion on the top of the results. But yeah, we have to go step by step. There's no reason to hurry or rush in the beginning, because first is the long races. We have still 6 races to go. And of course, you have to arrive in Le Mans with a lot of miles to understand the car and to be great in Le Mans.
Okay, thanks, Andre. And I've received the last question for you, Philippe. Your favorite topic that keeps coming back again, so we can say this is a hot topic for the day. Is regarding the balance of performance.
Again?
Yes, it is. Do you reckon the balance of performance is likely to evolve during the course of the year, or from one race to another?
Yes, because we have so many different tracks in the championship. If you compare Portimao and Le Mans, for sure, it's not the same game to play. Sorry. So the balance of performance, we will have some change, maybe between each race, but maybe also between each session. So it's part of the game, and we are well prepared to manage this. And we must use this new environment for us. Yeah,
understood. Okay, so thank you very much, Philippe. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Best of luck for this new season. As Lucas said, allez les bleus.
Allez les bleus.
And thank you everyone for watching us today. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for your questions. I wish you a great day, great evening. Take care, everyone, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.